alcohol coming on super strong, even though she hasn't had enough of it for it to make her feel that way. And then suddenly, boom, she blacks out. The next morning, she wakes up feeling like she was poisoned or something. And not only does her whole body hurt, but she's also bleeding and injured in her anus. And she doesn't understand what happened to her, and so she goes downstairs to Danny, and she asks, "What happened last night?" And Danny laughs at her, and he says, "Oh, I had intercourse with you last night." And Chrissy says, "Was I unconscious?" And he laughs and says, "Yeah." And obviously, Chrissy is not okay with this. In fact, she's devastated. I mean, Danny is her whole life, the guy who she's put all her trust in, and he's violated her in a disgusting way. And so she gets mad, and she's like, "I am gonna report this motherfucker." And she does. She goes to the ethics department of the Church of Scientology, which is like the church's justice department, and she tells the ethics officer what Danny did to her. But, unfortunately, the officer allegedly tells her that, well, it can't be SA because Danny's your boyfriend. And the officer also tells her, if this happened to you, then it's your fault. I mean, you must have done something to deserve it. And if that isn't bad enough, then this ethics officer allegedly threatens her. Like, if you go to the police about this, then you'll become an enemy of the church, and you'll be punished by any means necessary. And as you probably already know, the Church of Scientology, they are known to not f*** around when it comes to getting revenge on people. And so Chrissy is terrified. I mean, if she goes to the police, the church might come after her. Not to mention that the church also happens to be a major donor to the Hollywood Police Department. I mean, this is actually a real photo of them donating. So now she's worried they could all turn against her. And so, poor Chrissy, she decides not to report it further. Instead, she bottles it all inside. Thankfully, though, she does eventually leave Danny. Then, more years go by, and it's now 2009. And Chrissy, she actually meets a new guy, a much nicer guy. This guy, Cedric. And Cedric is actually the lead singer of two bands, the Mars Volta and At the Drive-In. Great bands, by the way. And Chrissy and Cedric, they fall in love and they eventually get married. And one day, Chrissy and Cedric are chilling and she's explaining to him why she has such bad anxiety. And she ends up telling him about what happened all those years ago with Danny. And, you know, she starts blaming herself and she says, "I know what happened is my fault." And Cedric, he has a big reaction to this. He's like, "No, the hell it's not. That's called SA." And he assures her that what happened to her was both wrong and illegal. And so finally, for the first time ever, Chrissy is sitting in front of someone who not only believes her,